I think I'm personally, with my own decisions, pro-life.
Yeah.
But I can't be pro-life for a woman.
Right,
for
somebody else.
I can't. I can't make those decisions.
We can't get in that
I believe in liberty.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to A Conversation with Colin. I'm Greg, and this is my roommate, Colin. Now, sometimes Colin says crazy stuff. So every Tuesday and Thursday, I reach into my random topic pile, pull one out, toss it at him, and we talk it out for your amusement. If you like that, like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe to us on YouTube. Colin, are you ready?
Yes.
Today's topic of conversation is abortion. Now, this one's been suggested a million times with a million variants on it. You know, abortion after rape, abortion or adoption. So there's no one credited to this. Many people have written in about this. I don't know how you want to tackle this one. It's an obtuse one.
Yeah, abortion.
Where do you stand on abortion? Should it be legal? We'll start there.
Yes.
Why should it be legal?
So why should it be legal? You're saying legal, right? You're not saying illegal.
Yes. Should abortion be legal?
Yeah, I'm pro-choice.
Okay.
Yeah, the way I always explain it is that there has to be a way out, right, for a woman. There can't be like this. There can't be this line in the sand that says if you're pregnant, you have to have the child. There can't be a line in the sand like that. It's just not. It's not right. It's not proper. Now I understand, and I really respect the pro-life argument.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it completely. And one of the interesting things about pro-life, the pro-life argument, the pro-life movement, is that while the computer age is destroying the more culturally conservative aspects of politics, including marijuana prohibition or things like that, the only thing that's getting more popular because of the internet is pro-life.
Why
and
is that? Just because of pictures of babies?
Because you can easily illustrate what an abortion is, and and so that's actually true. That the pro-life movement's actually getting bigger.
Yeah.
But I think that we need to just, as a society, as a free society, we have to respect both the rights of the baby and the rights of the mother. And I think that there needs to be a cutoff where abortion is absolutely illegal. And I think that the fact that we argue over 3 or 6 months is like heinous. You know, to me, it's 14 weeks should be the cutoff.
Why 14 weeks?
3, 6, 9, 10. Yeah, that's right. So my girlfriend and I were talking about this. That's you have 3 months, right, to figure out, like the first trimester or whatever, to figure out if you have, like, are you pregnant? That might take 2 months, right?
Yeah.
And then, like, how do you feel? You know, are you all right? We can even bring it down to 10 weeks would be fine for me. You know, like, you have to have that 2 week buffer after the 2 months or the 3 months to say, like, okay, like, they know and they have time to think about it and stuff, and then it's over, because then the baby starts really developing. And
yeah, where are we right now in the first trimester? Are we're getting what, eyes and stuff? This thing talking? What's happening?
No, the thing's not talking.
Okay.
But like the growth of a baby in the mother's womb is somewhat exponential. I mean, like
when do you start showing?
I think you start showing like 4 months, 5 months, right? I mean, like when the baby really starts to grow. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but
you're not an OBGYN.
No, I'm certainly not.
What were you doing with my girlfriend?
That's another conversation with Colin. So I think that you have to give a mother a way out. I always think about it this way, right? And it's not about, like, everyone always brings up the rape victim and all this stuff, and that's fine. Obviously, the rape victim should have the right to have an abortion. That's fucking given. My concern is, like, what about the 16-year-old girl, you know?
Right.
Or the 18-year-old girl that gets pregnant, hides it for a long time because she's scared of telling anyone. She can't have this baby. How is she going to support it? We don't need another baby that can't be supported in society. We already have a fucking bunch of people that that can't support themselves. Why do we want more? You know?
Yeah, but you don't want her. I mean, she's committed that long. For some reason, she's stupid and not tell people stuff like that. But like, what about adoption? Have it through and get it out and get it.
Because that doesn't really work either. I mean, the fact of the matter is, like, there's a vibrant adoption. I don't want to say an economy, but like, a system in the United States. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of these kids go to group homes and stuff too. You don't want that. Like, but there's an important but. At a certain hard point, whether it's after 2.5 months, 3 months, whatever it is, no, you can't have an abortion anymore. It's over. Like then it's illegal. And I think that the whole argument that was happening recently in Texas, where they were having like second trimester abortions, and even abortions, people trying to say like having abortions in the third trimester, which is fucking heinous. That's murder. And I'll be like really clear about that. That's murder. You know?
Yeah.
There has to be. It's not black and white the way people. We have to find some gray area in the middle to come to some sort of consensus. And the consensus is we have to give you enough time to make a decision. And once that time is over, then and your decision's made, then it's made and that's it.
Yeah.
Because we have to protect the right of the baby. And I think that the right of the baby at 2 months is, frankly, not as important as the right of the baby at 7 months. Because at 7 months, that baby could actually live outside of the mom's womb.
Premature. Right.
So I think this is a very politically divisive issue, and I understand that. But I think we talk about consistency, right, and conservatism, and I think the consistency and conservatism can be brought into line with abortion too, because conservatives are often pro-life. I'm a pro-choice conservative, and my whole thing is this: we believe in a small government. We're tired of the welfare state, and we're tired of paying taxes, and we're tired of seeing people that, instead of being brought out of poverty by being given a job, they're given money from the government to live a substandard life when they really should pull themselves up and be given the means to pull themselves up, right?
Yeah.
We don't want more of those people. We want more people that can support their families and support their themselves and lower taxes and and bring profitability to everyone and bring the sort of American dream to everybody. Mm-hmm. If we have more kids that come from young mothers or out of wedlock, and which is fine. I don't think that's immoral. I'm just saying,
you're painting a picture of babies being born to families that aren't ready for
right.
family.
Exactly. It needs to be okay for these families to say, like, we can't do this right now, and not be shamed when they go to the clinic, and not have this whole argument about it. That's one side of the coin, right? Like that. Like, that's okay. That's actually good for the system. We have too many kids that no one can care for, and that's just the reality of the situation. And that's something pro-life, hardcore pro-life, evangelical voters ignore. On the other side of the coin is the people that say, like, the baby's basically a parasite on the mom. The mom still exists as a person, as a citizen, and she has the right to kill the baby even up to the third trimester. I think that's murder, and that needs to be squashed out as well. You need to have made your decision by that point. And I'm not saying, like, if the mom's in danger at the last second, you can't abort the baby, obviously. But if you're just having an abortion because you lazily sat around for 6 months and didn't know and vacillated back and forth, that's your fucking problem. You know? The baby's going to be born. And then you can worry about what's going to happen to it later, because the baby at that point is viable. It's not black and white.
The baby's viable. I repeat, the baby is viable.
It's just not a black and white thing. We have to meet in the middle somewhere.
Right.
Pro-choice and pro-life can meet in the middle by saying, this thing is basically just a molecular set of cells right now at 2 months. And it's okay that the 16-year-old that got knocked up by her, her stupid boyfriend in high school doesn't want to have the kid. That's good. We don't want her to have that kid. Mm-hmm. She can't take care of it. She can take care of herself.
Yeah.
There's got to be the other side that says the 25-year-old, woman that got pregnant by her, boyfriend or whatever, or her husband, and then they're like, I don't know for months. And then they have the abortion. It's too late. Sorry. After 3 months, you fucked up. It's over. Yeah. There needs to be that sort of consensus. We shouldn't be having barbaric arguments about having second and third trimester abortions in this country. I think it's barbaric and it's murder. Mm-hmm. We shouldn't be having arguments saying that a person who has an abortion after 2 months is a murderer. There's somewhere in the middle we must meet. So I appreciate and respect the pro-life argument. I know a lot of pro-life people. My family's Catholic.
Yeah.
And that is a very... Catholicism and pro-life go together like, peanut butter and jelly. But I guess what I'm saying is, much like everything else, there's a place in the middle that we can meet.
We never will. Everybody sucks.
Two
sides never come together.
Yeah. No, well, we have to, because I'm an example, I think, of someone who's, like, rational about a lot of these things and understands both sides of the argument.
Yeah.
It's all about intellectual honesty. You can't be having abortions at 6 or 7 months. You can't be having abortions at 4 or 5 months, Yeah. But you can't ridicule women for making a decision that's best for them and best for the child. Sometimes we don't want to deal with the unfortunate reality that sometimes what's best for that child at 2 months in that 16-year-old girl's womb is to not be born,
Yeah.
And we need to have those hard arguments and those hard conversations with each other and really come to that consensus. So that's where I stand on abortion.
Okay.
What about you, Greg?
No, I'm with you. There's no place for me to jump on. I'm with you. Here's the thing. I'm pro-choice. Or I think what's going on there. And what's that? What's
a little piece of dust.
A little dust.
Yeah.
Well, gosh darn this freaking studio. I can't ever put myself into that woman's shoes. You know what I mean? Like, that's the whole thing. And like, I think they should have that option to go have an abortion. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I always talk about it with friends or my girlfriend or whoever, right? Of just like, oh yeah, and if anything went wrong, we would have an abortion or whatever. And then I don't know, like, if there'd be so many emotions stirred up by that happening to me that I have no idea how I'd feel. Let alone if I was a mother who was 16, whatever. You know what I mean? This is like a drunken one night stand, anything. Even if it was with a long-term boyfriend, but you had plans or whatever. Like, that's totally their life, and I don't pretend to walk in and be like, I know what's best here. I know how this should all shake out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What you're saying is, I'm on board with it. There needs to be a line somewhere, but like have we had a doctor come around lately and say what the line should be or where this all goes? Like, because you just have this is the same thing I was talking to you with like politics, right? That you have the left and you have the right, and there's like on the spectrums, it's the people who are loudest that you hear all the time. So you know what I mean? Like life begins at conception, you keep hearing nonstop. Then over here, I haven't heard the other side of where they're saying life truly begins or where this goes or how this person.
Yeah, it's about viability versus life beginning at conception versus the life beginning at viability.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that we don't hear a lot of arguments that a lot of this has to do with a lot of abortion doctors are very pro-choice, obviously, and it's not because of their trade; it's because of what they believe, and also the different states have different laws. So it creates like a cacophony of like just different opinions and different systems, which I think is fine. That's the idea of the whole 10th Amendment states' rights kind of thing. Is that like if you don't want to if you can't have an abortion in Texas, just fucking go somewhere else. I mean, like I understand that that's not practical, but like that's the way the system kind of works. And I feel like with it's just a shame with abortion because because you get pregnant doesn't automatically mean that child should exist in this world. And I don't mean that in a barbaric way. I mean that is that child gonna have a good life? Is that child gonna be able to make good choices? Is that child gonna have a good foundation? Because if not, that child becomes a burden on society. And that child also becomes a burden almost on itself in a way because it doesn't know any better and it's not going to be taught properly maybe, or it's not going to. And I'm not saying that every baby born in this situation is born out of wedlock or born to a young mother. I'm just saying like this is usually kind of how it goes. And there just needs to be a way out. There needs to be a way out for a woman, that has that gets pregnant. I know that my girlfriend and I I've talked about it in the past, and we couldn't in good conscience have an abortion, and like. I think that's right. We're both 29 years old, have good jobs, we make money. Like we're in a position now where we have the child. It might not be convenient.
Yeah.
Child,
what you want right now.
Yeah, but that's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
So it's a complicated issue. It's a very complicated issue. It's a very American issue too. And a lot of countries have sorted this out already, but we haven't. And I don't think we're. I agree with you that I'm not sure we ever will, but I think we can't re-legislate things that have already happened. Roe versus Wade is the law of the land.
Yeah.
And we're not going to overturn Roe versus Wade. And we shouldn't want to overturn Roe versus Wade. You can't tell a woman what to do with her body, but you can tell her that she has a time limit, I guess is what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
No, it's interesting. It's just funny spelled out like that. I'm with you. I agree.
You have 3 months to figure this out. 3 months.
Yeah.
And we give you a little bit of buffer room because you might go up 6 weeks without even knowing you're pregnant.
Yeah.
And you need time to think about it. You need time to consult your spouse or your partner or your family and figure things out. That's okay. 4 months, 5 months, no, it's over for you. Like you can't go like we can't be barbaric like that as a society. So I understand pro-life. I think I'm personally with my own decisions pro-life. Yeah. But I can't be pro-life for a woman.
Right, for somebody else.
I can't make those decisions for her. I believe in liberty.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Well, that was a good conversation. Thank you, everybody, for submitting it. Of course, I'm sure you have some thoughts on the matter. Let us know in the comments, and then while you're down there, make sure you tell us what you'd like to see us talk about on a future episode. Until then, have a conversational day.